Hello there everyone, Xantok here with Slave Star Gaming, and welcome back to more Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. Last time the trial for Lana Sky had started and we engaged in a battle of wits against Angel Star before finally uncovering the secret of the muffler. But the court is just continuing. We're in the middle of a recess, but we're going to be heading back to the courtroom here pretty soon. But let's have a real quick chat here with them before we do. So then, February 23rd, 11:56 a.m., the Definite Lobby. Mr. Wright. What? Are trials always like this with you? Like, you swimming up from the bottom of a lake, about to reach the surface? But no matter how hard you paddle, you never seem to get there? Pretty much, yeah. I mean, a little rude to call us out like that, but I can't deny it. Except today, we're swimming in quicksand. So what happened to your sister anyway? Apparently, she got called off of the judge's chambers. Huh. Probably something to do with that piece of cloth. So, this is where we turn this trial around, right? Our only weapon? A tiny, insignificant piece of cloth. I'm the one who's starting to feel tiny and insignificant, to tell the truth. Hola, partner. They say you show a red cloth to a bull, it'll fire up its temper. That's what they told me when I was a youngin', at least. Officer Marshall. Thought I'd come take a look and see how the trial's going. Looks like I'm late. They've got the place locked down tighter than a fort in enemy territory. What is going on over there anyway? All the police I've seen these last 2 days have been really on edge. Don't you got enough on your plate without worrying about other people, compadre? You could be worrying about the chief prosecutor's taste in mufflers, for example. Officer Marshall, the whole muffler thing didn't have anything to do with scarves. She wasn't even wearing a scarf. You don't say. Now don't that just beat all? I've seen the red breeze blow at her slender neck many a time. I saw it that day too. She was wearing a red muffler. What? At the awards ceremony that afternoon, Edgeworth's seen it too, I'd reckon. What does that mean? In the photograph taken at the crime scene, she wasn't wearing a scarf at all. So, Miss Star wasn't mistaken? Well, it's about time. Remember, partner, sometimes you gotta grab the bull by the horns. And sometimes, you just gotta let that bull go where it will. Time will tell. Ugh, I have a bad feeling about this. So, what are we swimming in now, Mr. Wright? Tar. If it's steak sauce, I could hook you up with some fine ribs. Ooh-wee. Alright, it's now 12:32 p.m. Our recess is over and we are back in the courtroom, where a new witness awaits. I'd like to resume? What's up? The judge keeps looking over the prosecution. Oh, this is bad. Why is Edgeworth freaking out already? Is something wrong, Mr. Edgeworth? Your face is blue, your lips are purple, you're sweating bullets. That furrowed brow, those grinding teeth, those watery eyes. What's more, your eyes are unfocused. You've doubled over. Your back is bent. It can't be. This can't happen. I wonder what happened to Mr. Edgeworth. You and me both, Emma. Well then, I believe it is time we continued on with this trial. During our recess, I requested the prosecution conduct an investigation. This is unacceptable! It seems our prosecutor is quite beside himself. Haha, excuse me, a knock-knock? Who's there? What's with this guy? A strange stuffy aura seems to be filling the courtroom. Oh boy! Hey, the temperature rose 5.7 degrees when that man came in. Who on earth is he? Ah, it's you. He's not saying much. Alright. Come on. Oh, sorry I'm late, Uji. The roads were packed. It's just me. Long time no see, eh, Uji? How ya been? Swim much these days? Ah, hello, hello. No, I've been so busy. Busy, smizzy, Uji, my boy. You have to make time to relax. Yes, indeed. Uji seems to be his nickname for the judge? I'm afraid you're right. Very afraid. Sorry, but who are you? Haha, so you're Righto, the attorney. I've heard good things about you, son. Thanks. So sorry about our little worthy giving you all that trouble, eh? You know, we should all go swimming sometime. Somewhere jolly. A little worthy? Mr. Wright, you don't know the district chief of police? Nope. Chief of police? This guy? He's the top-ranking police officer in the entire district. Oh boy. Name's Gant. Damon Gant. Pleased to meet you, everyone. So, to what do we owe this honor today? It's been over 2 years since you last came to this courtroom, hasn't it? God damn, everything about this case is 2 years this, 2 years that. Well, it's worthy here. Look at the poor fellow. I just thought I'd help out by bringing this. Hey, that's my sister's muffler. So, Miss Star wasn't just seeing things? When the crime occurred, Miss Guy really was wearing that muffler. But to think that it was stuffed in that exhaust pipe. On little Worthy's car, no less. But why? What's that? It's really quite embarrassing, even for us. What's this? It's what you'd call a switchblade knife. Quite perplexing, this. Chief, what kind of outfit are you running? Mr. Edgeworth, how could they miss such a vital piece of evidence? If your investigators are this lax, how do you expect us to do our job? Now, wait a minute, Worthy. I have no desire to hear your excuses. I'm telling you to wait. Or didn't you hear me? Have a look at this document where it says person in charge of investigation. There's no mistaking that signature. Miles Edgeworth. That's no fair. The day of the crime, I had your head in the clouds because you got that award. I know how you feel. But you're the person in charge. I'll expect a written apology. What? Are you serious? Oh, don't be too upset. We'll find a way to clean up this mess that you made. This is the first time I've seen Mr. Edgeworth at a loss for words. Not the first time for us, but this is pretty bad. This kind of major blunder is unlike you, Mr. Edgeworth. The court accepts this new evidence, but I'd like to ask the defense a favor first. Yes, Your Honor? Just to be sure, I'd like to take a look at the blade of this knife. The blade, Your Honor. Well, I don't see why not. Could you open it up for me, I wonder? Yes. Well, I think all you have to do is press that switch and... If I cut my finger, Mr. Wright, I wouldn't be able to pound my gavel anymore. Well, I don't think that's necessarily true, but okay. Yeah, but if I cut my finger, I wouldn't be able to point it at people anymore. Come on, just hurry up and open it. Fine, I don't know why you're controlling my court profile for me, but sure. Alright, let's go ahead and zoom in on the knife. And find that button. And press it. Don't scare me like that. I'm the one who's scared. Oh, I'm the one who's scared. Look at this knife blade. The tip is broken off. And this dark red stain? Blood? Did we just find the real murder weapon? Shit. This does not excuse the actions of the police department. I would like to hear an explanation from the chief of police himself. I'm terribly sorry, but could I ask you to testify for us about the split between the prosecutors and the police, and this knife? Sure thing. Not a problem. Not even a little one. Really? Department in disorder. This knife is special, but I can't say how here. Unless there's evidence to prove a connection between this knife and Goodman. That was a bad day for the department. We weren't in any shape to do an investigation. A detective was killed at the police department, see? What a mess. The time of the crime? 5:15. Scary coincidence, eh? It's not officially linked to this here case, so I can't talk much about it. It sounds like he's baiting us so fucking hard. Okay. There was a murderer at the police department? A detective? Well, that's hush-hush information, Archie. We haven't exactly announced it yet. Wait, has there been a second murder? Wait a second. You said 5:15. That's the exact time that Detective Goodman was killed at the prosecutor's office. Order. Anyway, we at the department were all a-flustered, as you might well assume. We're in the middle of a top secret investigation. Don't tell anyone, okay? I think we understand the police department's situation. Well, Mr. Wright? 2 detectives go at the same time in 2 different places? The chances of that are really slim. Scientifically speaking, of course. I'd like to exercise my right to cross-examine the witness. Very well. However, keep your questions focused on the case at hand. Will do. First, though, we're obviously being baited into proving that this knife is connected to this case, so let's go ahead and see if there's anything else that we can examine about it before we do much work here. Okay, so it's a switchblade knife found at the crime scene, wrapped in the defendant's muffler with a small tag attached. What is that tag? I wanna know. There's a small tag on the knife. It says SL92. What's that supposed to mean? I'm not sure, but it reminds me of a similar code. DL6. Maybe it's a case number. That's weird. What? I don't remember where, but I think I've seen something like this before. Something similar to what's written on this tag. It wasn't that long ago either. Maybe I should check the court record again. Alright, cool. I'll take that. Let's go ahead and look back through the rest of our evidence. We'll start at the starting here. The attorney's badge, nothing. Goodman's ID. We got nothing that looks like a... Oh, hey, wow. I can bring this up and actually examine it. Okay, sure. Let's see if there's anything on the back first. Oh, there is, but we can't examine the back. Cool, that's a waste of our time. Let's just examine the front then, because why not? Name and ID number are written here. Detective Bruce Goodman. ID number 5842189. I wonder why they only use numbers for IDs. What else would they use? Letters, silly. There's the reason we have a written language in the first place. True. Detective Bruce Goodman, ID YABADAB. See? Wouldn't that be better? YABADAB? I mean, if you try to spell Yabadab, then sure, I guess it works. Exactly my point. It doesn't take much to amuse her. I mean, to be fair, she's like 16 or something like that. Alright, let's keep going through. The prosecutor trophy, no. The Edgeworth's own knife. A parking stub. Blue badger. Goodman to autopsy report. Let's go ahead and check it out. Okay, Bruce Goodman, between 4 and 5:30, loss of blood, 12cm knife. Nothing else really there. The victim's note. 6-7S 12/2. I mean, that's kind of case number format. It's not the same thing as we have on the knife tag, but don't really see anything else that would be connected. So I'm just going to assume that's it. Alright, so let's see here. He's saying, unless there's evidence to prove a connection. That was a bad day. Let's go ahead and go back to the previous statement. We're going to go and present that note on this statement. I'm not sure if it'll work, but hey, why not? Are you fucking kidding me? Wait a second. Ah, at last, an honest-to-goodness objection. This knife, this has to have something to do with Detective Goodman. What do you mean? Haha, an honest-to-goodness, what do you mean from the judge? This is great! Look at the tag on this knife. It reads SL-9, 2. And this is important. Why? Over here, we also have a memo that was on the body of the victim. Wait a minute. Hold up here. 6-7S. S. Flip that upside down. I mean, I know you can't because you're watching... I mean, unless you're watching like a phone or a tablet or something, you can't really turn it upside down. But, roll with me here. Upside down, that's SL-9. God damn it. A 6 minus 7S? 12/2. Your Honor, it's upside down. Upside. The printed name on the memo makes it look like it's right side up. But turn it around and what do you get? Ah. When he wrote this note, he was holding the paper upside down. SL9. That's the same thing that's written on the knife's tag. Order. Order. Well, Chief? Ah, well, I guess the cat's out of the bag. You win, righto. I win? What game's this guy playing? Okay, so he's saying that this knife was evidence in a case. It was stolen from the detective's evidence room? So, this knife was stolen. Yes, but on the day of the murder... It was evidence, you see. Was it, in fact, a murder weapon? Ah, nice, nice, nice! Good show, little Worthy! It was a murder weapon, as it happens. It was evidence from a case long since solved. So, this knife was stolen on the day of the murder. And it was found in the exhaust pipe of Edgeworth's car? Hard to think there isn't a connection there. Okay. Oh shit, now what? Let's just press him on this, I guess. On the same day the detective was killed in the prosecutor's parking lot, another detective was killed at the police department? That's a fact. Surprising, isn't it, Dudgy? I'm at a loss for words. And the perpetrator, do you have a suspect? Well, there was a suspect. Just arrested him, in fact. Just arrested? That was quick. But there's still a lot of unanswered questions. Maybe you could help, Wright. I suppose I could if you help me by giving me data on your case. Woohoo, good one. This kid's sharp. Okay, here's the deal. I'll tell you one thing and one thing only. Okay, we already know when they died at 5:15. How was probably a stabbing. We know where they were found was the police department. I guess we'll just ask how they were killed. Well, how was the detective killed? How was he killed? Now that's the interesting part. It was what we in the force call a stabbing with a knife. Knife. That's exactly the same as Detective Goodman. That's the spirit we're cooking now. But you know, that's not the only thing that was exactly the same. What do you mean? There were more similarities between the two cases than the cause of death. It seems like I'm going to have to press this a bit harder. Huh. I'm trying to think about this here. I wonder if I can press this again and get a different question answered. Alright, skip through all this text. He says he'll only give us one piece of information, but we can kind of cheat it here by pressing again and trying to see what else we can find. Okay, we know for sure when the victim died because he already told us 5:15. We know that they were killed by stabbing, so let's see where they were found. So, tell me, where was the victim found then? Well, I can't speak on where the corpse was found, but I can say the crime took place in the evidence room at the police department. The evidence room? Wait a second. I have heard of that. The evidence room. Didn't he mention that in his testimony just now? This knife was evidence in a case. It was stolen from the department's evidence room. There's the connection between the two cases. You seem happy, Mr. Wright. Happy? We just got handed our ticket to go to town on this case. With the link between the two cases established, we finally have some leverage. Now, we can get Gant to testify about the details. Okay, he's saying it's not officially linked to this here case, so I can't talk much about it. Oh, I guess that was the last thing. Oops. 2 detectives were killed at 5:15. One at the prosecutor's office, and one at the police department. That can't be a coincidence. And that knife. What was it doing there? Especially if the two murders happened at the same time, how would the knife be found? That makes no sense. I better check this knife out. I mean, we already have. Let's see here. Oh, damn it! Went too far. Ugh. Alright, let's go back to this part. Oh, for fuck's sake. What is the last thing? If you press the A button too quickly, it just moves on. Whereas if I press it here, oh, I guess it moves on there too. Alright, maybe I'm an idiot. Let's press here. Chief. The defense's position is simply this. The connection between these two cases has already been proven. You don't say? Well, out with it, righto. What's your connection? Yes, out with it, Mr. Wright. The connection is a place mentioned in the testimony we just heard. The knife found on the lot was stolen from the police department's evidence room. Not to mention, the victim had written down the numbers on the knife's evidence tag. And we also know the detective murdered at the police department was killed in that very same evidence room. Indeed. There do seem to be too many connections for it to be a coincidence. Um, dude? You two make a good pair. It took my men 2 days to find out what you deduced right here. Chief, I request that you release your information on the victim at the police department. See, that's the tricky part. It hasn't been announced yet and all. Can we get the information unofficially? I was thinking about it. Sure, why not? It's unofficial after all. What? Really? Aren't there people in the gallery watching this case? Aren't they gonna know about this information? Who would have guessed? Yeah, seriously. Okay, so he's saying I'll cooperate, but I can't reveal the name of the victim at the department. Okay, sure. Fair. If you're going to tell us a little, why not tell us everything? Aha, well, case information is a sticky stuff. You have to do everything properly. Oh, well, I guess I might as well try to get what I can out of him. How about the ID number? That'll pretty much tell us who the person is. If we can figure out how to match the ID to a person. Okay, how about you tell me the victim's ID number? Oh, sure, why not? It's not like you'll be able to tell who it is from that. Of course not. You won't tell me their name after all. We keep a tight lid on ID numbers, so don't go getting your hopes up. The number is... Yes? 584-2189. Wait a fucking minute. Wait a goddamn minute. That's Goodman's ID number. But Goodman was killed in the parking lot. Supposedly by What the fuck is wrong with this case? Well, that's quite long. And we have to remember these. It drives me nuts. 82... I can't do it. You didn't even get the first number right. Well, Mr. Wright, does this tell you anything? The ID number of the victim at the police department, 584-2189. Oh, it tells me something, alright. Actually, it does, Your Honor. It does. I think. Meaning... It has to be what I think it is. But what does this mean? I don't know. Well, let's hear what the defense has to say. You say the ID number of the detective who was murdered at the police department tells you something. What does it tell you? It tells me that there's some funky ass business going on here. Does Goodman have a twin? A body double? Was Lana Skye supposedly murdering a test dummy? I don't know, man. Something funky though. What is it, Mr. Wright? You're grinning like a schoolgirl on prom night. Whoa. No, it's just... I got confused. And this is news? What? Just come out with both guns blazing like you always do. The police department, the prosecutor's office. 2 places, 2 detectives murdered at one time? Actually, I happen to have a police ID number here. Oh ho, is it yours? No, Your Honor. I'm a defense attorney. Remember? This is the ID number of our victim, Detective Goodman. Shame on you, Righto. Personnel IDs are top secret. Detective Goodman's ID number is 584-2189. And this means what, exactly? Judge. Wait, that ID number we heard from the chief earlier, that started with 82. I've forgotten. You even got the first number wrong again! The number the chief of police gave us was 584-2189. Wait a second, Wright. What is this? Dude, I don't know. I'm trying to figure that out myself. Mean? That's what I want to know. The two ID numbers are identical. In other words, the detective killed in the police department's evidence room was Bruce Goodman. What does our witness think about that? Oh ho ho! Sharp as a tack, righto! Sharp as a tack! But wait, Detective Goodman is our victim. He was killed at 5:15 in the underground parking lot. Yet, a Detective Bruce Goodman was also killed at the police department. In the evidence room at the exact same time. I'm starting to think that whoever Lana killed was not a real person. That's impossible. So what we're saying is, the same person was killed at the same time? And in a completely different location? Dude, I know, right? We either have twin scenario, or Lana was forced to pretend to murder somebody that looked like Goodman. I don't know. There's some... What the fuck? No, what I want to know is, why didn't I hear about this? Yes, it's top secret, fine, but I'm the prosecutor in charge of the case. Now, just wait a second, Worthy. No need to get all flustered. Your Honor, the police department has made a grave error in this case. Wait. I said, wait. Or didn't you hear me? The oversight. The grave error? Mr. Edgeworth, they're yours. What? How dare? We informed you yesterday. I believe it was our Officer Meekins who brought you the news. Officer Meekins? Mr. Wright, where have we heard that name before? Wait, oh shit. Excuse me, but is this Mr. Edgeworth anywhere on the premises? I'm here, sir, at the request of the chief, sir. I've got your report, sir. You don't mean him? According to Meekins, you didn't accept the report. Hard to believe. But your officer, he told me, he said the report had nothing to do with the Lana Sky incident. Detective Bruce Goodman murdered in the police department evidence room. Mr. Edgeworth, the victim's name is written right on top of the report. Why didn't your officer tell me? Honestly, I'm not sure if that officer was capable of making the connection. He did seem challenged. In any case, this is a serious error, a gross negligence of duty on your part, Worthy. But, sir, you could have submitted that report this morning to the court as evidence. Then this guy's unsettling to an extreme. No such luck this time, Worthy. Or should I say, unworthy. What? Now, what was the second rule of evidence law? Well, Mr. Wright? It's, Rule 2. New evidence may only be submitted if it concerns the case on trial. And how is this relevant? Normally, you submit a list of evidence to be used in court before the trial. This report wasn't on that list. So, what does this mean? I couldn't submit this evidence until a connection was proven in court, which we were baited into doing. The connection was just proven by Wrighto over there. Good job, Wrighto, my boy. What? I was just doing my job. No. No! It seems we have come to the end of this trial. You are becoming a thorn in my side, Worthy. There have been rumors. After all, you were in the defendant's chair just last year. I apologize for this terrible lack of due diligence on my part. Mr. Edgeworth, please, just give me one day. I'll get to the bottom of what happened, if it's the last thing I do. You'd better get results this time, really. I'm sorry, I'm so sorry. Poor Mr. Edgeworth. I don't think there's ever been an error this serious in the history of this court. We will grant one further day, as the prosecution has requested. Will this be sufficient, Mr. Edgeworth? Yes, Your Honor. Thank you. Whatever your punishment for this is, for your sake, I hope it's not decisive. Very well. Court is adjourned. What the fuck? So, is Lana innocent now? Because if Goodman was killed at the same time somewhere else, then she couldn't have killed him in the parking lot. What is this case? I do not remember these twists here. I mean, I remember Gant, I remember the Sky Sisters, but not this. Well, that's the end of today's episode, I suppose. Next time around, we're back to doing some investigation. I'll see you all then. Bye, everyone.